Okay, so for this video, I'm going to go over a lot of the algebra that I've already done in a lot of the videos so far, and just do them to do with shapes or different problem-solving questions, so things like shapes and angles. Because I know often you can be able to do the algebra in the questions, and then when it throws a shape or throws something weird at you, you wonder what to do. So that's the idea of this video. I don't really know how long it's going to be. I've grabbed a bunch of questions from the textbook and just done up some solutions, and I'll go through some as we go along. So let's get stuck into it. So work out and simplify an expression. So an expression means all the algebra added together for the perimeter of each of these. So remember, perimeter is all the area around the outside. So you'll have to add all the sides. So here it's very straightforward. We simply add the sides. So 2p plus q, then we add this plus 3p plus 5q, and then plus 2p plus 2q. Okay, so perimeter is adding all the sides. Now you just want to get your like terms. So the p's together and the q's together. So that's all you've got to do. 2 plus 3 plus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7p, and q by itself, that's 1q, plus 5q is 6q, plus 2q is 8q. So all you've got to do is 7p plus 8q. Okay, so if it says perimeter, it just means add them all together. So try these other two, and I'll put up the solutions now in a couple of seconds. Okay, there's that one, and there's that one. Okay, so that's perimeter. Now, sometimes you're given shapes like this, and you have to get them together. So for this first one, we've got the two top bits are equal to the question mark. So for part one, it's literally just 4p plus 2. Very simple. That's what the question mark is. Okay, but for part 2 then, okay, so that's this one up here, we see that 6p plus 5 is the same as 6p plus 2 plus the question mark. Okay, so what we actually have to do is 6p plus 5 minus 6p plus 2. So we have to minus that. And when you do that, it becomes 6p plus 5 minus 6p minus 2, because you're going to minus both of these numbers off. And that's very straightforward. 6p minus 6p, they go away. And 5 minus 2 is 3. So your question mark there is equal to 3. Okay, so it's just figuring out whether you have to add or subtract there. So I'll give the answers to part 3 and 4 now if you want to try them, or even just do them in your head. I'll give you the answers. Okay. There is parts 3 and 4 there for you. Again, just subtracting off the things. Okay. Now, this one is saying find an expression for the area of each of these shapes. So we've done perimeter and we've done length. Now we want to do area. So remember, if you've got a rectangle, the area is the length. That's not how you spell length. L-E-N-G-T-H times width. Okay, so you do the length times the width for a rectangle. So here you can see clearly the length is 2x and the width is y. So 2x multiplied by y. And remember, when you have letters and numbers together, it simply becomes 2xy. Very simple. Okay, for this next one then, we're going to have to just split it up a little. So we can see that this bit will be k multiplied by m. So it will become km. Okay, and you're left here with m times n plus k. So that becomes mn plus km. Okay, so this one is mn plus km. So you've got your left rectangle and your right rectangle. You've got km plus mn plus km. And as you can see, you have a km and you have another km. So it becomes 2km plus mn. Okay, very good. So that's two things that we have got done. Now the third one, you take the exact same approach. So you can see, split it into 2, and you'll see that you've got 3a left on this side because 4a minus a, so that's just 4a minus a, and then just do it, get your two rectangles and do the same thing. Okay, and there's your answer there, so you can check it. Okay, now when it comes to formulas, this is a little bit of substitution now. So we've done simplifying expressions, we've done multiplying, now a bit of substitution. Okay, so we're told that the area of a triangle is given by the formula A equals BH over 2. So remember, for a triangle, the area is a half times the base times the height. That's always the case, even if it's just a normal thing. Okay, or BH over 2. That's the same thing. Okay, BH over 2. Yeah, okay. So here you're told that there's a triangle and the base is 25 centimeters and the perpendicular height is 10 centimeters. So the area is going to be BH, so that's 25 times 10. So remember, when you're substituting in, you need to use brackets, over 2. Okay, so that's 250 over 2. So that means 250 divided by 2, which gives you 125. Now it's just not just 125. Remember, we've got this centimeters here. So when it comes to area, we need centimeters squared. Okay, so that is how to do the area of a triangle when you're given the base and the height. So try it with the second one. You just do 16 by 12 over 2. I'll give you the answer now. Okay, 16 by 12 over 2, and you should get 96 centimeters squared. Same sort of approach here for this one. It's a different one. It's a slightly harder one. But again, we're using this formula here. So area equals half A plus BH. So that's the area of a trapezium rather than a triangle. Okay, so this time it's going to be a half A plus BH. So you're given it all in the question. So a half, and we do A plus B, so that's 9 plus 16. And times h, which is 10. Okay, if you remember your BIMDAS rules, then it becomes a half times 25 times 10. Okay, which will be a half times 250. We're actually going to end up with the same answer as the last question, which will be 125 centimeters squared. Never forget your units. You don't want to be missing out on that. Okay, so it's just as if this top bit was 9, this middle bit was 10, this bottom bit was 16. Okay, so take a second there and do part 2 yourselves, and I'll give you the answers now. Okay, there it is. Just sub in your 14, your 30, and your 11. Okay, now moving on to another type of a one. This is where you have to do something extra. So we were just adding the perimeters earlier, and we had to find a value for the perimeter. Okay, but this time you're given the perimeter value, and you need to find out what x is. So let's add our like terms. So 3x, 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 and 2x. Okay, that's always the first thing you should do when you get perimeter. Add it all together. So you've got 3 and 3 is 6, and another 3 is 9, another 2 is 11x. So add them, and then do your numbers. So minus 1, plus 2, plus 6, plus 4. So do the positive ones first. 6 and 4 is 10, and 2 is 12, minus 1 is 11. So 11x plus 11, and you're told that the perimeter is 36. So equals 36. Okay, and now you've got something x plus something equals a number. So we've just got to do our solving a linear equation. So just minus 11 from each side. You're left with 11x equals 25. Now you're not going to get an even number for this one, but just divide by 11. Okay, and you will get x equals 25 over 11. So it's 2 point something. It doesn't really matter, leaving it as a fraction is fine, but you can press the SD button on your calculator. If you want to change it to a decimal, it'll be 2 point something anyway. Okay, so do the exact same thing over here. Just note that the first thing you'll have to do is multiply 3 by f and 3 by 1. So this will become like 3f minus 3 and so on. So you have to multiply the brackets first. But try it there yourselves, and I will give the answer now. It's underneath the grey bit. Okay. So there's your answer. You have to just make sure to write it all out and then multiply out your brackets first. So you see how you have to multiply out each bracket as you go along, and then end up with solving a linear equation at the end. Okay, have we got much more here? Okay, again, here's just the perimeter of a triangle. So if you want to try it yourself first, before I do it. So first is find an expression. Okay, so you've got x plus 2x plus 1 plus 3x. Simply add the like terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6x plus 1. Okay, so I found an expression for the perimeter of the triangle. Now secondly, what value gives 55? So 6x plus 1 equals 55. That's how you work out these questions. You stick in an equals, then you find it out. So minus 1 from each side as normal. 6x equals 54. And then 6 by something equals 54. So just simply divide by 6. And you will get, running out of space, but you will get x is equal to 9 here. So you create the expression and then you make a linear equation out of that. Okay, moving on down. Okay, it says use your knowledge of angles to form an equation and solve it to find the value of A. Okay, so think for a second, how many degrees are there? So if you remember a straight line, you have 180. In a triangle, you're also going to have 180. But if you have something like this and an entire full rotation, you're going to have 360 degrees. So this means that all of these will be equal to 360 here. So if you want to try it yourself before I do it, definitely pause it and go for it. And I will do the answers now. Okay, so add all the angles. So a minus 2 plus 2a plus 3 plus a plus 6 plus 3a minus 4. And that's all going to be equal to 360. All equal to 360. Now, same as before, we're going to, got rid of an a there. We're going to get rid of the like terms. So a, 2a, a, 3a. So put all our a's together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7a. And then our numbers, minus 2 plus 3 is 1, plus 6 is 7, minus 4 is 3. So 7a plus 3 equals 360. Okay, very good. Now we can just minus 3 from both sides, as we always do. So then we're left with 7a equals 357. And finally, divide by 7 to get a by itself. And you will get a is equal to 51 degrees. Okay, and if you want to check that, this one will be 51 minus 2, so that's 49. This will be 51 by 2, so that will be 102 plus 3, so that's 105. This one will be 57, and this one will be 153 minus 4, so 149. If you add all them together, this should give you 360. So 149, 7, 12, 1. Yeah, so they do add to give you 360. So if you want to check at the end, you can see what it is. Okay, and this might be the last one. It is indeed, yeah. So find x in each triangle. So again, this is using angles to try and figure these things out. So if you remember, in a triangle, they will all add up to 180 degrees for both of them. So that's your key number here. So let's add them together. 2x plus 16 plus x equals 180. So oftentimes all of these are just setting up a linear equation. Then you figure it out. So add your x's. We've got 4x plus 16 equals 180. Same as before. Minus our 16 from both sides. And we're left with 4x equals 164. Yep. And then last step, divide by 4. And we're left with x is equal to 41 degrees. Okay, and again, if you sub 41 back up here, you should have a 41, you'll have an 82 up here, and you'll have a 57 here, and they should add to give you 180. Right, that will do me for talking here. That's 14 minutes. That's not too bad because those are right few questions there. If you want to just try this last one by yourselves, I'll put up the answer now. And now you should have a better grasp of problem solving using linear equations and adding like terms. Okay. And there's your answers there. Again, just letting it equal to 180.